Welcome back, baseball fans, to the WBC tournament, the 1970 Winter Baseball Classic. Today we have a game between Rhode Island and Halifax. Let's take a look at the schedule. And you have four teams in a bracket: regional, the green northeast, the yellow southeast, the red Mississippi River region, and out west, the northwest and southwest. We have played best of sevens, and we've played the winners brackets of best of fives, and we are beginning the loser bracket best of five. This is the first round of eliminating teams. We have 16 teams. After this series, we'll be down to 15, etc., etc. Everybody gets eliminated once you get knocked out in a series. So here we have Halifax versus Rhode Island, a number 3 seed versus visiting the number 1 seed who got knocked out in the best of 7. Let's see what's happened. Game 1 in Rhode Island. It is the number 2 starter, Rich Hand, pitched 6 pretty lackluster innings, but stuck around long enough for his team to come back and win. Stan Bonson started for Halifax. Really disappointing. Halifax seems to be the better squad. They have Dave McNally, Ken Holtzman, and Stan Bonson. Very all-capable pitchers. Could be in the carryover league. Not doing very well in this. Meanwhile, Rhode Island has no one special there. But Rhode Island wins game 1, 7-6. Coming back to do so. And then in game 2, it seemed to be a pitching mismatch. You had Dave McNally, a 24-game winner in 1970, versus Mike Kilkenny and his .463 ERA. Except Kilkenny has a shutout through 6 because of a 2-run homer in the 7th. And McNally gets knocked around for 3 runs in the 3rd, 2 more in the 6th, and that's the end of him. They beat up on the rags of the bullpen of Halifax. And little Rhode Island, the smallest state, has won 2 straight games, looking to eliminate their Atlantic Province neighbors there. In a game 3 in Nova Scotia. Let's go to Halifax for game number 3. I know it must be kind of chilly this time of year. Let's assume they have a dome stadium. At the end of the video, whichever team loses the series, we'll kind of go through and take a look at all 20 of the cards. Because the purpose of this is to see if any of these 20 cards are going to continue into the carryover league. So let's get started. Leading off for Rhode Island is Maury Wills, who was was traded in the offseason to Atlanta. 2-8, grounds are short. And Atlanta has decided which Maury Wills card to take. It could be this one. He's near the end of his career, and that's why he's being traded from the Dodgers to the Angels and now to the Braves. All right, batting second is Jerry Grody, who has a -3 arm and could very well be, this card could be chosen. His card is up for the Mets. 57 is a K. And batting third is Pete Rose. His 69 card is also up. But we're thinking the 73 MVP card will be taken. Pete Rose, 1-7. Double 1-8 is a base hit. And with 2 outs and a man on, it's Nate Colbert. Already in the league. 39 is a walk. 2 on for Rico Petrocelli. His card is a definite downgrade. I'm not going to show too many cards during the gameplay. I know I usually do that a lot. But again, I'm going to show you 20 cards at the end of the video of the losing team. So let's just keep playing baseball. Petrocelli, 64 off of Holtzman. That is gone. A 3-run bomb. Rico Petrocelli off of the Holtzman card. Turn up the tunes a little bit more. There we go. 3-run bomb. Rico Petrocelli off of Ken Holtzman. 3-0 Rhode Island. 27 outs away from a sweep in the WBC. Dick McAuliffe, I think he may have made the final out in the World Series against the Mets for the Detroit Tigers, and his card is up. 1-2 is hit by the pitch. Batting 7th. You'll love this one, folks. Yes, Tony La Russa. He is up, and he played second base in 1970 for the Oakland A's. 106 at-bats. Here he is in the Winter Baseball Classic. 66, triple 1-2 is a base hit. Runners in the corners. Holtzman, another shoddy pitching performance by this Halifax team. Here's Don Hahn. 33, grounds a third. 3-0. Halifax has some work to do. Leading off, Cesar Tovar. Traded in the offseason from the Twins to the Angels. 45, rolls a second. Bill Voss played with Boston last year. He's a free agent. Grounds the first. Lou Piniella, being a keeper of the Kansas City Royals. It could be this year or one of his future years. They're all about the same. He pops the short. Jim Holt, trying to make it in with a 70 card. He has a really nice 73 card, though. And now we go back to the top. Maury Wills, K's. And Jerry Grody, 35, grounds a short. Bottom of the second, it's Mike Epstein. 2-6 is a K. Lee May, his card is up for the Reds. He strikes out. A couple different, you have his 70 card, his 70 World Series card, of course, but I think he's got a good 71 and 72 and 73, so who knows which one they'll take. Richie Hebner grounds the pitcher. All right, here's Pete Rose. 1-8 is ball 4. Colbert, 62, pitcher B. Petrocelli, 69, ball 4. 2 on for McAuliffe, 1-5, pitcher B. Runs in the corners for La Russa, 2-3, grounds a second. Don't think La Russa's going to make it, folks. I just put him in here because, well, you know, Son La Russa, kind of fun to see managers like that when they were playing the game. Mike Andrews, 5'11", grounds the first. Nate Colbert is 2-15, makes the play. Halifax, got to get something going, or they're going to be the first team eliminated. Bob Taylor walks. Jack Heidemann, a 2 shortstop. I believe the only remaining 2 shortstop in the 1970 box, not already in the league. So he'll probably get into the league, even though he hits 211. And that was in 478 plate appearances. All right, Cesar Tovar, the man on and 2 outs. 68, pops the first. Top of the fourth, Don Hahn. 2-7 is a single. C. Steeler. Bob Taylor plus 2 arm. Oh, we should steal. He's going to steal a base, and he's in there. One of the things I'm enjoying doing in this WBC is stealing lots of bases. Something I really can't do in the Carrier League is there's always good catching arms in the Carrier League, but here it's hard to find a good catcher. Rhode Island happens to have one of the few in Jerry Grody, and they're winning this series. They have a 3-run lead, which makes you think Halifax won't even attempt to steal. All right, Hans at second, and here's Jim Holt. 3-6, rolls to first. Runner goes to third with 1 out. They'll bring the infield up for Maury Wills. Rolls to third. This is Hebner, who is a 4.29 at third base. That's going to be an error. And now, that scores the run. A single, stolen base, a ground ball moves him to the third, and an error. We have a 4-0 game now. Maury Wills is an ace stealer, and he's definitely going to steal with a 4-run lead and a plus 2 arm catcher, and he's safe. And Rhode Island is getting greedy here. They feel it. They were the underdog going into this series. They were down 6-1 in game 1, then suddenly they've just taken off for the last game and a half or 2 and are dominating here. Jerry Grody, 1-7, single 1-8, makes it. Runners in the corners, 1 out. They bring it up for Rose. 1-10, base hit center field. Grody will hold at second. The fans are filing out of Halifax Stadium. It's icy out there, folks. They want to, they don't want to get stuck in a traffic jam. First and second with 1 out, it's Nate Colbert, 1-3, short A. 5-zip. This will be a quick night. Bill Voss, 3-6, sky's the center. Halifax needs a rally. 46, Lou Piniella grounds the second. McAuliffe at 2E22, same defense he was last year. And with 2 outs, Mike Epstein, 67, pops to second base. This is Tom Murphy. He of the 16-13 record for the California Angels in 1970 in 227 innings. That's the best stat on his card. He threw 227 innings, so he could pitch on 3 days rest. Therefore, he's in this league getting a look. And he's got a no-no through 4. We go to the 5th. Rico Petrocelli, 210, skies the center. McAuliffe, 38, single 1 to 10, gets it. Tony La Russa, 612, pitcher B. And with 2 outs, it's Don Hahn. He skies the center field. 5-0. Let's pause a moment for station identification. Okay. Bottom of 5. Lee May, 6'10", base hit off Murphy. That breaks your no-no up. Richie Hebner, 1-5, base hit in the center field. There goes your one-hitter. Lee May will hold at second base. Mike Andrews, 2-4. That is a double to center field, and Halifax is catching fire here in the bottom of the 5th. Hebner will not get thrown out with nobody out. Second and third in a 5-2-1 game. Bob Taylor, 2-6, single 1 to 12. He gets it. Boy, Murphy trying to qualify for a win, making it rather difficult on his team. Came into this inning with a no-hitter. Now he's getting knocked around. Runners on the corners. Nobody out still. 5-2. Your tie run is Jack Heidemann. The pitch to Jack, 56, is a fly ball to left. That is a sac fly. 5-3 game. Tovar, 1-9, lines a third, and with 2 outs, it's Bill Voss. 1-7's a walk. 2 on, 2 outs. Lou Piniella, 38, grounds a third. All right, 5-3, Rhode Island. Holtzman's got to bear down now, keep this game close. Holtzman was traded in the offseason to the Oakland A's as a keeper, and they're looking for, well, maybe not this, after this performance here by Holtzman, maybe they don't go for the 70 version, they go for one of the other years. Jim Holt, 1-3, pops a short. Maury Wills, 3-10, flies left. Jerry Grody, 2-7, lines the second base. Bottom of the 6th. 5-3 game, Mike Epstein, 67, pops the second. Lee May, 1-5, grounds a short. They're not going to go along with Murphy, not with a 2-run lead. Richie Hebner, 34, grounds to first base. Holtzman in the 7th, 5-3. Pete Rose, 38, short. Nate Colbert, 6'12", pitcher. Enrico Petrocelli, 59, short X. Heidemann, 2E31, makes the play. Looking for some defense here to bring in. Let's see. Nope, not anything to bring in. All about the same. Stretch time here in Halifax. We are listening to Translators. Sometimes people forget. Translator had the big 80s hit Everywhere That I'm Not. You're in Nova Scotia, but I'm not. And yeah, that's why Halifax, Nova Scotia gets that background music. So here we are in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tom Murphy's giving you 6 with a 2-run lead. You got Mike Andrews, Bob Taylor, Jack Heidemann. You could go to the pen here, and I think they will. Murphy is Murphy, and it's time to attempt to get better. So Paul Doyle comes on in the 7th inning, lefty reliever, to face Mike Andrews. 65, short X. This is Maury Wills, a 3.32 at short. Makes the play though. Nice play, Maury. All right, Bob Taylor can't hit lefties, so batting for him will be Pat Corrales. Pat Corrales, you may remember, last year was one of the unsung heroes of the Mets. He backed up Jerry Grody in in the World Series. Matter of fact, both those catchers are present today. Jerry Grody over here and Pat Corrales here. So it's Corrales, 2-7. He's a grounder to third. And with 2 outs, Heidemann. 1-9, grounds a short. Paul Doyle gets it done. They're 6 outs away from the sweep. Kenny Holtzman, I'm going to leave him in there. I mean, the big 3 starters are better than everybody but the closer. So, McAuliffe in the 8th. There's old McAuliffe. There we go. 4-11, left X. This is Piniella, a 4-5 in left field. And that is unfortunately a triple off of the Lou Piniella glove in left. That's a big mistake. The infield has to come up for Tony La Russa. 35 is fly ball left B question mark. A chance of a RBI. McAuliffe is a 15 runner. 16-17 against the 0-arm Piniella. He runs, he scores on a 14. We got a 6-3 game. Don Hahn, 2-7 is a single to right. Jim Holt, the final batter, 56 is a walk. That's it for Holtzman. Another, wow. What a lackluster. So there you go. Dave McNally is 24 wins of 70. Holtzman's 17 wins and Bonson's 14 wins. Came up goose eggs here against the Wally Bunker, Rich Hand, Mike Kilkenny, Tom Murphy, Bobby Bolin staff. That's not good at all. 7 1/3 innings. Eddie Watt will come on in. And a 6-3 game. Didn't see this coming. It's always a surprise here in the WBC. Maury Wills. Runners at first and second for Maury. 1-3. Pops to second base. And Grody 2-6. Lines to second. All right, bottom of the 8th inning of a 6-3 game. They're going to flip this over to Danny Frisella. Will come out of Rhode Island's bullpen. Frisella got himself a World Series ring for the Mets with a later card. I believe the 72 or 71 card. So as good as he would be in 1970, it's not necessary. He has a future card. Very seldom would I go back in time and take a previous year. Tovar, 111, pops the first. Bill Voss, 65, rolls a second. And Lou Piniella, 610, catcher's card. This is Grody. Check the E rating here. That's another thing the Mets would be scouting. He's a 2E5 with a -3 arm. That's kind of what that Met team would love to have. Backing up Seaver, Kuzman, Gentry, Matlack, Tug McGraw, and the rest. Making the Mets one of the most formidable pitching and defensive teams in all of baseball next year. All right, let's go to the 9th inning of a 6-3 game. Eddie Watt against Pete Rose in the 9th. 4-12 pitcher. Nate Colbert, 36 is a K. Petrocelli, 310, flies to left. This time they're going to bring in Johnny Jeter for La Russa. And he'll actually play some defense, though. Going to left field, Holland go to DH. 6-3 game, 3 outs to go for the sweep. And here comes Steve Mangori to try and finish it off. Improbable sweep here. Mike Epstein leads off in the bottom of the 9th and he 3 runs to tie. Mike Epstein, 57 is a K. Lee May, 2-5 is a grounder to short, and it's all up to Richie Hebner against Steve Mangori in the bottom of the 9th. 4-10 is a catcher's card. Jerry Grody can squeeze it. That is it. Well, that was embarrassing. A 3-game sweep of Halifax by Rhode Island. Wow. We have a team that's going to be eliminated. We'll follow this up at the end. We'll look at their roster. The Halifax team. We'll show you those big 3 pitchers I talked about. And see if they're going to get into the league. Eddie Watt had a nice 5-batter outing, striking out a guy. Holtzman, not very good. 7 1/3, 9 hits, 6 runs. A couple of those were unearned though. 5 walks and 3 strikeouts. Ngori gets an easy save of the ninth with a strikeout. Frizella, easy inning. Doyle, easy inning. That's the theme here. Tom Murphy, my goodness, got to win. 4 hits, 3 runs, all consecutively in the 5th. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. 1019, 0109, 6934, 5424, 2454. All right, let's do some housekeeping here for the tournament. We'll show you what happens when somebody gets kicked out of the loser's bracket. So Rhode Island was one of the weaker teams coming out of the round of 7, but then they caught fire here, folks. Halifax, one of the most dismal performances. So, yeah, 7 wins in the round of 7 and round of 5 will get you a bye. 7 losses will get you eliminated. Halifax finishes 2-7. In those 9 games, they had .235 with a .487 ERA. Dave McNally was 0-3. The Orioles are enjoying that. They're saying, get those losses out of your system now in games that don't count. And for Rhode Island, they're now 4-4. Hitting .250, however, even though they just had a 3-game sweep, their team ERA is .574. That's how bad they were in the round of 7. So we will go up here. Rhode Island, 3 games to zip. The eliminated team, we put their record and their name here. That's Hacks. And as far as the 2 teams finishing 2nd and 3rd, best record goes down here, 6-4. 4-4 is the record of Rhode Island that we just saw. Just making sure the numbers reconcile. Number of net games. This is a -5, a 0, a +2, and a +3. That's the correct net. So Coney Island has clinched a number 4 seed, and Vancouver and Rhode Island will have to wait and see how the rest of these best of 5s go before we know where their seeds will be in the next round of the tournament. That's it tonight from the Winter Baseball Classic. We'll follow this up with an eliminating Halifax video. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see you next time. Okay, baseball fans, this is the Halifax roster that just got swept away from the tournament. Let's take a look at their cards, 20 of them, and see where we stand with them. Hebner, we used his 69 card last year, so he is up. Could be this one. Hebner will hit lefties pretty well, so he doesn't here, so that would be the thing that would hold up this card. I'd go for a different year. All right, so Mike Anders had a nice year last year for Boston. Now he's lost his defense, a bit of his stick. He's on waivers. He can go anywhere. Has a nice on-base percentage, though. He'll get a job. He'll be in the league, but he'll have to wait a little bit till teams sort out the second base position. Pat Corrales did a great job for the Mets. Hit about .270 with a -1 arm against lefties, and he does the same thing here. He was a good hitting catcher. Well, here it's .236, but the platoon supports, yeah, if you just use him against lefties, he'd have been better off. Don't know if the Mets really need to bring him back, of course. They can use anybody to back up Grody. What do we have here? Okay, here's a guy, Bob Taylor. This is his only year in baseball. Left-handed hitting catcher, always available. But the stick's just kind of, yeah, probably not going to get in the league. Though a left-handed hitting catcher, he might get into the league at 190. This is a luxury item, though, just to have a waste of roster spot for a left-handed hitting catcher who can't hit. Now, Jack Heidemann, I mentioned him at a 2 at short. He's the only 2 left in this box of free agents from 1970 who hasn't been in the league yet. And you see why. It's just the 2 is the best part of this. Everything else, even the E rating, the top line's got some speed, power against righties. Yeah, 211 for Cleveland. They would move on to Frank Duffy, I believe. So that explains that. Danny Thompson's very young here, but he can play a lot of positions. Could get into the league as a utility player, or he can wait till he becomes a nice player for the Twins. That wait might be a while. I don't think he turns it on for the Twins until, say, 74, I want to say, maybe 75. So up until then, he does stuff like this. 219 and 300 at-bats. Jarvis Tatum is a corner outfielder who is okay at best, but the competition at corner outfield is huge. Don't expect this card to make it. Nothing to pin your head on here. A 3, I guess a 3 with a 0 arm is the best thing I can say about this guy, and that's not, yeah. All right, so here's Tovar. Loses a little bit of that flexibility we liked about him. You see his defense in the infield is not very good anymore, so he'll just stick in the outfield. And he's an A, the great top line, you know, probably had 700 plate appearances. Yep, 702 plate appearances in 70 for the last Twin team to win the American League, or the first Twin team, I should say, to win the American League West. Bill Voss, similar card what he had last year as a nice defensive replacement late in the games. Great defense for a right fielder. He can kind of hold his own a little bit against righties. That's not bad. Platoon starter with power, it's possible. Would be one of the weaker corner outfield platoons, but it's certainly workable. Here's Lou Piniella, another nice year. His 69 card looks a lot like this, and at 282. This one, it's 301. It's probably a higher percentage against lefties, you see here, and he's better against righties. Big hit runner, yeah. So, yeah, pick a Piniella. They're all going to hit you close to 300. Not a lot of power, but yeah. All right, here's Epstein. Takes a step down a little bit from 69. 20 home runs. I think he had 30 in 69. 256 batting average. But he gives you a lot of walks. We know he goes to Oakland and gets a ring for them. He's still a Senator here. And we know Oakland was unsuccessful trying to land him in the offseason in a trade. They ended up getting Mike Hegan instead. So Epstein's going to run this thing back with the Washington Senators, Texas Rangers till the end. And good for them. They need to hold on to Epstein and Frank Howard. Here's Lee May. And I don't know which year, but I've seen a better card. Of course he destroys lefties. But against righties, it's okay. Nothing special there. So, yeah, you're going to get your 34 homers, but you're going to get this a couple more times. So I wouldn't confine yourself to this card. Here's Ken Holtzman. Maybe we're seeing why. He just pitched in this game, didn't do very well. Maybe we're seeing why the Cubs were willing to give him up to the Oakland A's. You see, this is his last year in Chicago. And then he will move on to great things with Oakland. And that's a nice card right there, starter 8. We just saw it play in the game you saw, and it got knocked around. It's a good card, though Oakland has plenty of options of the Holtzman cards. Stan Bonson, first year on the rotation, 200 innings as a starter 7, did it with the Yankees. Didn't stick with them, though. He moved around to the White Sox, eventually moved around to, I believe, the Expos, some other teams. Solid pitcher here. Pitches on 3 days rest. Should have a job. Someone's going to sign this guy in the Carrier League. Not sure who. McNally, not sure. I think the Orioles actually already have his 71 card. Now, the one category of wins is fantastic. Though his ERA and the home runs allowed would indicate that he got plenty of support. Did Dave McNally for a team that won the World Series. Makes all the sense in the world. You put him on another team, you might not get the results you think you're going to get. A very young Steve Ranko coming up through the Expo system, right? Yeah, he's an Expo. But look, for an Expo team in their second year of existence, he pitches on 3 days rest, has a winning record. That's good news for the Expos who might bring him up. Mike Nagy was in the league last year with Boston, was pretty good, but he has fallen on some difficult times here. 1970 is not very kind to Mike. He's down to 129 innings and a 4.47 ERA, and a jag, just a guy, as I like to say. This particular jag is, they're right-handed hitters. Excuse me, guys who pitch right-handed are easy to find. So, Phil Reagan, a little lackluster relief year for him. 4.74 ERA. He might be done. I'm not sure. All right, here's Eddie Watt. Now, he was part of a big trade in the offseason. He played last year for Cleveland, and the Orioles and Indians made another deal to get Watt back to Baltimore. That meant Frank Robinson would go to Cleveland. This Watt card is okay. Statistically, it looks good. All the Orioles stats look good because they won the World Series in 1970. But a 3.27 ERA in 55 innings. You look a little closer. That's a lot of extra base hits over here and a lot of walks. I would hope Eddie Watt has a better card than this to make that trade worthwhile for the Orioles. Okay, here is probably the best pitcher of the lot that we've seen here. This is Daryl Knowles, a very capable closer kind of card here. He did it with the Senators in 70. Poor guy. Look at the win-loss record. 2-14 with a 2.04 ERA. That is some bad support and bad luck there for Daryl Knowles. So you put him on like the Reds, or put him on the A's or the Mets, or one of the dominant teams, and he could take off. Oakland should make a move for this guy. I think he's still in the Texas system, and if Texas is smart, they will hold on to him for dear life, because the Rangers are going to hit some hard times moving forward. They don't have a good farm system. And that does it for the 20 players assigned to Halifax's team in the Winter Baseball Classic. We will see some of these guys this summer in the 2022-1970 73 Carryover League. Thanks for checking out this video. We'll see you next time.